Hi, Mr. Haynes. Thank you for joining me today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, Annika. Hi. I guess the most important thing is to say I've been married to Mrs. Haynes for 32 years now, and have two daughters who are both out of the house now. One of them works with adults with developmental disabilities in Northwest Arkansas. The other is in Ohio in the Columbus area and is still partly in school and partly working. So she is slowly making her way through school. And so we live here in Greensboro, but we are both. My wife is originally from this area, but I've lived in a lot of places growing up. But we were both went to high school in this area. I graduated from Grimsley High School, and she graduated from Salem High School over in Winston-Salem. But we met in college, and we've lived a number of different places, including Africa for about 9 years, and have recently come back here to the United States, and all of our family is here in the Triad area. So that's kind of how we ended up here in the Triad area again. So really excited to be back here, and I really enjoy being at ECG and working with you guys. And in a nutshell, that's it.
We enjoy having you. Why did you decide to become a teacher?
That's a really good question. I actually, when I first went to college, I was studying psychology. I knew I wanted to work with young people. I just wasn't sure how, and just realized pretty early on that working in school systems was a really great way to be with young people and be able to work with young people. And so I switched over education, and I've done a lot of different things in the school systems. I've taught so many different subjects, and I've been an administrator as well, but I've just always enjoyed working with young people.
What inspires you?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say just good friends and family members inspire me. A lot of people have heroes that inspire them, and I don't know that I've ever really had heroes. I have some historic figures that I really respect, and I would love to, be able to meet, people who actually are alive today. But I really think it's just the kind of normal people in my life who have been abnormal, had an abnormal impact. But my wife, both my daughters really inspire me. I have a couple of sisters that inspire me, and I'm really blessed to have some friends that are really inspirational to me. And so for me, those people are kind of the heroes, the ones that, kind of real people in life who, just do amazing things, and sometimes even just doing an amazing job in just normal everyday circumstances, not necessarily in those, the heroes. We always have those events in their lives that are kind of these watermark events and everything. And sometimes the most inspiration I get out of are people who just live, normal, good, wholesome, inspiring lives, just serving people. So that inspires me.
Yeah. What is one of your hidden talents?
I've done a few interviews in my life, but I don't think I've ever been asked about my hidden talent. Boy, that's one I wish I had looked at before. I should have looked at this list a little bit better. I don't know if I have a hidden. You know what? Maybe strategy games. I don't think a lot of students probably know that about me, but I play a lot. I do a lot of strategy games, board games, and things like that. I get pretty competitive, and I'd say I probably do pretty well at those. And I know that's kind of a maybe, not your typical answer to that, but that would definitely be hidden.
Mm-hmm. If you didn't become a teacher, what would you be?
Oh, I'd be a chef. So that would be a talent that's not quite as well hidden, because a lot of people know that I like to cook and bake, and so yeah, we've joked about me becoming, winning the lottery and being able to go to culinary school and open a bed and breakfast and do some seasonal have a seasonal menu once a month and just be able to relax a little bit. But I enjoy being in the kitchen. I enjoy cooking. I love cooking for other people. And so, yeah, I think that one's pretty straightforward.
Your donut holes are amazing. The one from Civics
Yeah.
last year. Yeah.
Yeah. And I, unfortunately, as a teacher, I used to be able to bring in food when I did the, colonization unit. I would bring in venison and corn cakes and things like that. And now, of course, you're not supposed to be cooking for students. So I don't really get to do that kind of stuff for students anymore. So.
In which other teacher's class would you like to enroll even for a day, and why?
Oh, which other teacher's class would I like to enroll? I think I would go with, I'd probably go to Mr. Johnson's classroom just because I love U.S. history. I've taught quite a bit of U.S. history in the past. So just being a history wonk, I would do that. But, I also would love to hear a teacher playing a banjo. So I think hearing banjo would be a lot of fun too. So I might have to jump into math class and hear some banjo playing.
Mm-hmm. What is one memory you have from when you were in school or college?
High school or college, just anytime in school. I would say some of my fondest memories are from college. The school I went to was a small school, and students had to live on campus for the most part in the dorms, and so we developed a lot of friendships. And I've got amazing friendships still from my college days, and I learned so much from them. I learned a lot in college as well, but I just had a lot of fun. So I would say just hanging out with those friends on the dorm over 4 years of college.
If you could be anyone for a day, living or deceased, who would you be and why?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
If you could be anyone for a day, living or deceased, who would you be and why?
Oh, I mentioned I don't really have heroes, but I have these historic figures I'd love to and so I'm going to throw two of them out there that, I've enjoyed studying and I would really love to get to know more about, and that would be Dietrich Bonhoeffer, from Germany, circa World War II, would be one of those figures, and George Washington Carver would be the other. And just being able to hang out in the lab with George Washington Carver and just kind of seeing the way he went about his business and the way he, was so inspired in everything he did to do it well and to be great. I'd love to meet those two guys and spend some time with them.
What do you work towards in your free time?
We've kind of downsized recently and are living in a little more simple. And so really I've just been able to read a little bit more and spend more time, kind of catching up on reading and things that I haven't had a chance to do in the past. Obviously, cooking, I like to catch up on, but I'd say probably just a lot of books that, I've meant to read over the years and just haven't been able to get around to. And so usually when a break comes along, I have one of those books on my list of to check off. So,
what is your dream vacation?
My dream vacation, I would probably have to go in two parts. One that, probably my favorite vacation of all time is Washington, D.C. I love the history of Washington, D.C. and so that would be one. But as far as dream vacation I haven't done yet, I would say that would probably have to be Central Asia, India. My daughter and I both love Indian cuisine, and she's been to India and Nepal, and has just told me on and on and on about the things she's done in India and the food there. And so I would probably just go on a culinary tour of Central Asia, and not just India, but other areas around there, and just to be able to go and try all the different cuisines, southern India, northern India, Nepal, Pakistani food. I'd love to. That would be great to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. What can you cook to perfection? This question is perfect for you.
Oh, what can I cook to perfection? I would say the meal that I get requested the most, because it's anytime we have any kind of a party, my daughter's birthday parties, it's always been wings and rings and fries. And so homemade French fries, homemade onion rings, and homemade buffalo wings with all different flavor sauces.
If you could have any superpower, what would that be?
Any superpower? That's a good one. If I could have any superpower, it would be, people always say like world peace and whatnot, but I would just love to be able to bring people together around a table and a meal, and just get people together with different points of view, and be able to just talk with each other and understand where they're coming from. I think, from having me in civics last year, it really means a lot to me to be able to see the perspective of a lot of different people. And I love sitting down with people who I don't understand, who I don't agree with, and being able to just get to know each other without fighting. So that would be a great superpower. Just be able to bring, 8 or 10 people around the table, enjoy a nice meal, talk about things we passionately disagree about without, disliking each other, and just truly getting to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a superpower.
That's interesting. If you could grow up in any decade, which would you choose?
Oh, the 60s.
Okay. If you were to be given a superlative when you were in school, what would it have been?
I'm trying to think of how to frame it, but it'd be something most likely to be willing to try, brand new things. I don't know if that's not really a superlative though, is it?
That works.
Most likely to try new things. I've very typically have viewed, changes in life that seem kind of dramatic or drastic. I've tended to just view those as another opportunity for something else, and I'm always looking forward to new challenges and new ideas and new experiences. So most likely to try anything new.
That works. And then lastly, what one piece of advice would you give to your students?
Oh, you know what? I would use that. I'd give that advice that I mentioned earlier, and that is, I would always encourage people, and you've heard me say this, find people that you don't agree with, that you disagree with, and really sit down and get to know them, and don't take it personally, and don't think less of them for disagreeing with you, but really truly understand where they're coming from, and get to know them. I can't give any better advice to anybody. My daughters, unfortunately, have probably heard that more than they'd like to admit. But I just really feel that just would go such a long way for society, but for the individual. I mean, just for you personally, to be able to really hear somebody who you totally disagree with, and to be really try to really be able to understand where they're coming from, and understand that is really, really a great aspect of life that a lot of people miss out on.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Mr. Haynes. That's all I have. We're really happy to have you as a teacher at ECG, and that's all.
Well, thanks for doing this, Annika. This was a lot of fun.